In today's gospel, Jesus says, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains just a single grain. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. The person who loves his life loses it. The person who hates their life in this world will keep it for eternal life. St. Francis de Sales once wrote a letter to one of his close friends. She was looking for spiritual advice, and he wrote about a seed. The seed is an almond. He tells her that she should write, "Live Jesus," on her heart, and he uses a metaphor. He says that if you carve a word onto an almond seed and plant it, when the tree grows, all of its fruit, every almond seed, will have that word on it. If you write "Live Jesus" on your heart, then all your fruit, your actions, your being will be engraved with the words "Live Jesus." What is Jesus saying in today's gospel? He's saying that we, his followers, must die. We must die to self. And he uses the example of a grain of wheat. We don't see an actual grain of wheat much unless we go to Whole Foods or Weaver's Way and we buy whole wheat products. A grain of wheat must die. It must be destroyed for it to produce more grains for flour. If the seed does not die, it just sits there. Imagine that you were that seed. What if you said, I don't want to die. I want to remain a seed by myself. What would happen? Well, when Jesus died, his single grain of wheat bore so much fruit that it changed the world. His dying led to the resurrection, the glorification by his God. One single grain transformed the world. You and I can bear so much fruit for those around us. We can glorify God's name for those around us who are not bearing fruit. People who have distanced themselves from God. People tell me, I don't go to church anymore. I don't pray. It's all hypocrisy. It's all useless chatter. Well, we can glorify God by dying to self. Our one grain can bear much fruit. So what is this dying to self? No one can make you do it. There's no commandment or precept compelling you to do it. You can choose to die to self this Lent. We can choose to give up something that we're holding on to, that imaginary grain of wheat that I spoke about. Spiritually, we have already begun to do this during Lent. Spiritually, God is speaking to that law that's written in our hearts. God is showing us something that we should die to give up, to let go, to lay down, to get over. For me, God is saying, quiet down. Don't be so busy. Give time to me in prayer. Give time to those people around you. If you can let go of these things, you can die to self in these areas, and your life will bear much fruit. God has written a law on your heart. Ask Jesus, what do you need me to do? What do you need me to die to in order to bear fruit in others, so that God may be glorified in you this Lent?